So two social interactions that I had this week. One would be with my member. So I got to work probably about around 8, and when I got there, probably about 30 minutes afterwards, my member was there, and it was kind of strange because she's one of our transportation members, and when she was there, it was like, well, like we automatically knew something was wrong or something had happened. So we I automatically got her on back into my office, and when I got her back there, she broke to me or she told me what was going on with her boyfriend and how she was wanting a emergency removal out of the home. And so with that, it was kind of strange to me because I've been knowing her for about 5 to 6 months, and I kind of grew a relationship with her, and I know she told me something about this was going it was going on with him being abusive, but it never got physical. So when she told me that, I automatically went and got her file. I looked for her case manager, but when I was looking for all the other information in her file, I saw that had she had expired. So once I saw that, I was like, oh God, like I gotta go back and like explain to her that basically once she's expired, she would have to reach out to her case manager to recertify. So the issue with that was when she had got there, she told me that she had tried to reach out to her case manager, and even I tried to reach out to the case manager, but the case manager wasn't answering the phone. So I went back and told her what was going on, and it was like she got hopeful. Like she got that look of like that I'm doomed. Like this is there's like there's no help for me. So so when that happened, um even though there was nothing that we could do for her, I kind of went, I don't want to say behind my boss or my organization back, but I kind of did go behind their back to see what what I could do. So I kind of used my title, and I called different organizations to see if they were able to help her or if they were able to just do something so we could get her removed. And so as I'm sitting there trying to find someone, it was like I was getting hopeful. Like I like, oh God, I was like, all right, this one might work, but it was nothing came through. So as I was talking to her and I was telling her like, hey, I'm jumping through these channels, trying to get you some help. There, like, no one is able to do anything. So then she went into more graphic details about the situation that was going on with her boyfriend, and some of the stuff she was telling me, it was horrible. And it was even worse with the fact that I couldn't, it was like my hands was tied, like I couldn't do nothing. And then I kind of wanted to just say forget it and take her to a domestic shelter myself, but it's a lot of stuff that goes on with situations like that, and it's a little bit beyond me. So as she was telling me about some of the stuff, I activated my active listening, and is I know she could see it on my face. Like it was just my facial expressions I have to work on, because with my field that I'm in, when some things that I hear, my face just tells it all. So I know I have to work on that. Oh, what else happened? I left from that situation knowing that it wasn't a positive. I felt like if she were to do a survey with how that situation went, I know she would probably do good because she was there and she seen that I tried to do everything that I could in my power to help her. But I personally, I walked away from that situation knowing that I didn't. Even though I know I did my best, I still felt like I didn't do my best, if that makes sense. So, um, it just really killed me. It killed my mood and my vibe for the rest of that day, knowing that she had to leave and go back to that situation, and it was like no, there was no there was no help, because dealing with people like that, they already feel like they're worthless. They already feel like no one cares for them. They already feel like they do everything they can, and it's still, it seems like the world is giving up on them. And it also killed me because I've been knowing her for about 5 6 months, like I said, and she looked at me like her security. But the fact that I couldn't, the fact that I couldn't find no help for her, was it really tore me up. So then later on, when I got home, so another, or should I say, another social reaction that I have, insurrection that I had was nightly. Me and my husband, we get together and we are hard out gamers. So as I do everything that I have to do, I go and I go and I get our controllers. I make sure those batteries are good and charged. I go and get our make sure the TVs are good. I go and I make sure that the our snacks, our drinks, whatever drinks we're gonna have while we're playing, whether it's alcohol or sodas, I make sure we have everything out, and then we hop on them gaming sets, and we hop in the lobby, and then, well, we start our party chat, then we hop in the lobby and we join our friends into the gaming world on Xbox. And in those moments, in that time, like we it's like a bonding time for us. So we take that moment to see what's going on in each other's life. Like, even though we talk throughout the day, those moments right there is what how we keep up with each other. Like I say, even though we talk to each other throughout the day, that's when our more deep, our more intimate conversations happen. Like, we go into checking up on each other. Like, he asked me how I'm doing in school, or what I did in school today, or what happened at work, and I do the same thing with him, because he's in school for sports management. And so I try to see if we are still on game for the future. Like, all right, is this still what we going? And what else? With those moments, um, to compare them. So with that moment with my member earlier that day versus me being at home, with that member, I was more professional. Clothes wise, I had like my normal button down and my black slacks, and either when I have my shoes on, but sometimes I do have my slides. Or like when I'm dealing with a situation like that and I know I need to move quick, I do pop on my slides. But other than that, I wear my heels. Versus when I'm at home, I have like on like a t-shirt, and I have on pajamas. Like, I'm real comfortable. Like, I'm more at peace. Like, I'm more, And then nonverbal with her, my nonverbal was I was I was attentive to her. I was active listening. I was you could just see it all in my face. Like, I was just zoned in on everything that she was saying. So soon as she said something that could have modeled, just like, oh yeah, well, since you said this can happen. Like, I was more in tune to that, versus when I'm home, I be in tune to it, but it just be we just be we just be us. Like, even though I pay attention, I do be listening, I be getting an understanding about whatever happened that day. We still just we be us. And then we do talk about the moments that we're at versus not. So with my member, the moment where we're at when we first started was, it was more, she was very reserved. She ain't want to tell me nothing. She ain't. She thought anything she could say would like possibly make her case worse. Like she didn't look at me as help. Versus now today, she just well, I don't know now, but now today she just calls me like when every little thing happens, she just calls me like Shanetta, like she just calls me like she just like her security blanket, like I said before. And then with my husband, where we're at now versus back then, I would say we're more mature. I say we not as petty as we used to be about little simple things. Like I've learned him and he's learned me. So we know each other. Like we know each other now. Um our environment for the office was more of a work environment, more of an office environment, but it was also more of a comfort environment. It was more of a welcoming environment. Versus at home, the environment is just it's home. Like it's a safe place. Like I'm comfortable. Like in the professional setting, I'm up. I'm it's me and you. We're talking and we're gonna handle this. We're gonna see where we at. Versus at home, I'm just slouched back, laid up, feet kicked up, playing the game. Like the language vibes when I'm there at work is more professional, more my language level is on a whole nother level versus when I'm at home. I'm Shanetta at work, but I'm Hattie when I'm home. That's my nickname. I'm Hattie when I am baby. Look, I am Hattie when I'm home. I am. My language is a little bit more like a sailor, you might as well say, because I mean we be playing the game and it's a lifestyle, so little things do slip out. The impression that I try to leave on him is that I'm very much still involved. He still gives me a thrill. Like no matter what, that my husband, that man still gives me a thrill. I'm inspired by his drive. I really am. Like I really his precision. He gives me an emotional charge. It's exciting and in tune. I feel like I can take on the world whenever I sit there and I have a conversation with him. I feel like I could do anything. Like no matter what I say, no matter what he say, he could do no wrong in my eyes, and no matter what I say, I could do no wrong in my eyes. Like I that's the impression that I leave on him almost every night when we have our gaming session. Those gaming session goes for hours, so we bond for like hours. The impression that I left on her, I feel like my impression wasn't up to par on. I know, even though I know I did everything that I could do to help her, I still feel like it wasn't enough. Like I know I'm not supposed to feel like that, and when we go through our trainings, they tell us like they basically say like whenever that situation is done, the situation is done. There's no more that you can do. But I still feel like I could have did more, and it's killing me because I haven't talked to her in probably about 3 or 4 days. So I don't know. Like even though they tell us when we go home, you leave work at work and you go home. In my mind, it's still on my mind heavy because I haven't heard from her, so I don't know what's going on. And her case went from a normal hot case to now she's IPV sensitive case. And with those cases, we treat them so much more delicate. But we couldn't do nothing because, like I said, once again, she wasn't certified or she had expired. So my nonverbal with him. Well, I would have to say I'm just relaxed. I can't explain it. Like it's just, it's something that I can't explain. I know another nonverbal that we would have, like when something crazy happens, and like we know each other so well, like I automatically look over there at him and he look at me and we just give each other like the eye, like we go ahead and mute the mics and we go in on the people in our party, whether we play in GTA, 2K, or Call of Duty. When we are true greeners. So when something happened and somebody pisses us off and we know how we could get, we mute the mics and we go in on our teammates and then we get back on the mic and we come up with a game plan as to how you feel like you could have did better with this or whatever like that. So yeah.